the meetup page that I put together tonight. Okay, just under half. And everyone else came to Luma? Luma, okay. What about the WhatsApp channel? We have a WhatsApp channel. Did you see it there? Okay, fantastic. So we've got a speckle of how you've all come to the event tonight. That being said, welcome. Yeah, we've got some great speakers tonight. I'm really excited for us. Let's see. How do we get going here on your computer? This is an old Apple. If you wanted to go and get access to all of the DeFi links for the association that was started by Mark Bonfort out of Sydney, please take a look there. And that's our agenda, folks. I think we've done the doors open and networking. Have you all met at least one or two other people tonight? Great, excellent. And so we're going to start with Nathan. So Nathan is going to talk to us about an event that is coming up, the Cardano Constitution. So he'll be first up off the rank. Then we're going to have Bamboo. Who knows about the Bamboo app? You've all got it, you've all downloaded it, excellent, you all know about it. Fantastic, so that will be Blake and Tracy, the pair of you, or Blake, I'm not sure. We will be surprised, great. And then to finish off, we will have a little presentation by a local film producer. He's local now, from Brazil. He lives here. His name is Leo Clark Ribeiro. I think he's Brazilian. Anyway, he's friends with the producers of the movie. So I think the producers have sent us a little message. They would have zoomed in with us tonight, but it's 2 o'clock in California, so they decided to send the movie clip. And we'll also watch the trailer, and he will explain why we're looking at that clip tonight. And then we'll just do a little bit of a quick round the room with the mic. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. Take it away, mate.
I was thinking that I walked up here too early because you've got another thing on the agenda.
Actually, we do.
I'm going to go sit down again. Don't walk sitting.
Oh my gosh. So we've had a few different events all around the country. Has anybody seen on LinkedIn like what's happening with the Aus DeFi Association? There are like tons of different meetups and community workshops, etc. going on all over Australia. So this is Sydney. I wish I could say more, but I don't. We've got podcasts. I think that's run by Mark, is it? And Arturo. I think friends of Vitalik came out to speak in Sydney. What else we got there? Brisbane. That's us here in Perth. Yay! Melbourne. And then that's Mark talking with, who's he talking with? Is that the CEO? Okay, from Red Valley. Excellent. And then this is with Charmaine. I don't know Charmaine from Perrh. Awesome. So you can see that it's a very active association. If you're interested in having a look at the podcast, then you can, scan that. And here we are to the guests. Wonderful. Okay, now it is, Nate. Excellent.
Should have said that a second.
So do you want to just use the right click there?
Yep.
I'll let you go over.
Thanks, Sophie, and thanks everyone for having me again. Here to talk today, not so much about me and what I'm building, more about what's going on at Cardano at the moment. Upcoming on the 12th of October, we have our Cardano Constitution workshop. And you might be thinking, what is that? That's a bunch of words that some of them you've heard of and some of you don't, so hopefully I can give you a bit of info on that now. I don't know why I put this as the second slide. I just said I wasn't going to talk about me and what I'm building. If anyone wants to scan that, you can have a look into Olympus Insights. Obviously, I presented last time about our Learn to Earn platform that we're building, but I don't want to focus on that today. So Cardano has just undergone a massive change. We've undergone a hard fork of the blockchain, which is ushering in the Voltaire era of Cardano. So this is the final stage of development. We've been through Byron, Shelley, Gauguin, Basho, and now we're into Voltaire. This is all about bringing governance on-chain and putting the whole blockchain in the hands of the community. So people talk about Charles Hoskinson as the CEO, and people mention their thoughts, positive or negative, about him from whatever their experience is. Now it doesn't matter. He is a guy that created the blockchain, but he's no longer in control of that. So this is literally putting the entire Cardano treasury, which is 1.5 billion ADA, which is I think about 500 million or 600 million dollars at the moment, in the hands of the people. So everyone that's a Cardano holder will have a say in whatever actions are going to take place with the chain moving forward. That can be protocol updates, that can be marketing proposals, anyone that wants to get a piece of that treasury to build something that's going to move the chain forward and move crypto adoption forward. People can do all of that. So Cardano has become, across its journey, a self-sustaining ecosystem, and that 1.5 billion ADA treasury wasn't just put together by people investing. Every single time that we've processed a transaction on Cardano, a percentage of that has gone towards accumulating that treasury. Unlike Ethereum, our gas fees aren't in the hundreds of dollars. You might get a gas fee of 0.17 ADA, which is what, 32 cents for ADA at the moment. You can do the maths on what that might be. And as Voltaire goes through and the Hydra upgrades come to life, transactions per second, and pretty much everything that people have ever had to use as a segment for FUD about Cardano is about to become unfuddable, basically. So SIP 1694 was the government's proposal to bring this all live. It was the foundation for on-chain governance. There is a website if you're interested in learning more about this, which is 1694.io, which goes through and gives a lot more of a detailed explanation than what I'm going to do tonight about how the on-chain governance processes work, how you as an ADA holder can participate, or if you just want to be a bag holder that doesn't get involved with governance, you can also do that as well with delegated representatives, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the types of governance action that can take place are protocol updates, treasury withdrawals, and governance framework changes. And these are some of the things that we'll be talking about at our constitution workshop in, I think it's about 6 weeks' time. So the voting system gives ADA holders a choice, a say in every single thing that happens. And we can see as this develops, as our constitution is ratified and we keep driving this forward, that this could be implemented into IRL governance systems as well. We've got the Constitutional Committee, which is made up of a whole bunch of different people, one of which is sitting in the audience. So we've got Phil over there. Make everyone look at him for a minute so he feels embarrassed. So Phil's part of the Constitutional Committee. That is the Eastern Constitutional Council, is that right? What's it? Eastern Cardano Council, and there's a few other councils that form that committee. Then we also have delegates, stake pool operators, and other ways of getting involved with the voting. So the chain hard fork went live, it was a couple of days ago, so. Sunday, perfect. Which ultimately brought all of this to life. So chain hard fork takes place in two parts. Part one was to enable all of the readiness and the bootstrapping of the ecosystem, so we're ready for this governance to go live. And then chain two, which I believe is 4 to 6 weeks away. Does that sound right, or further?
90 days, at least 90 days from Sunday, so that's fantastic.
Perfect, that's why I brought Phil tonight to give me the backup. So at least 90 days.
Early September.
Yeah, awesome. And that will kind of coincide with the International Constitution event, which is taking place in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And yeah, ultimately bringing this governance to life. So since the hard fork, which just went live on the 1st of September, we've got over 100 delegated representatives online already. So any person that is a Cardano holder can become a delegated representative. To do so, you need to have an internal wallet, which is one of the Cardano wallets, and 500 ADA in that wallet, because you just lock that 500 ADA for your period of being a DREP, and that way you can become a voice for your community. So we know that there's thousands of people that are invested in crypto, millions of people, but not necessarily all of them want to participate in governance. Not all of them care about how the chain operates and where the fund, where that treasury is going. So there are certain people, so Olympus Insights has just become a DREP today, and a number of others within the ecosystem that you can delegate your vote towards. So it's a liquid delegation, so you don't actually have to lose, none of your ADA goes anywhere. You just delegate saying, this person, I trust their vision and where they see the cryptocurrency ecosystem going, and you can essentially use your Cardano bag to back them, and they can contribute your ADA towards any voting processes they're involved in. I was listening to a YouTube video on my way in, and I think that number is getting much closer to 200 now. It's probably already gone past in the last couple of hours. Obviously, the 1.5 billion ADA treasury is going to be unlocked. And then as an ADA holder, you can obviously register as a DREP if you're governance inclined. You can delegate your ADA to a DREP if you want someone else to be basically voting on your behalf. And you can submit governance actions onto the chain. So there's a lot of power in the hands of the community. The whole idea here is that everyone has supported the blockchain, they've got involved in the blockchain, they have a vision for where decentralization can take us and where we can have more justice within voting systems and all sorts of things like that. And this is, I think, one of the best examples that we've seen of making that come to life. I think I sort of repeated a few things on this slide, so I'll just keep sliding forward. The Cardano Constitution. So we've currently got an interim constitution document that I should have actually put a link to, but I didn't, so I can add that to the link tree for anyone that would like to have a read. It defines the rights, responsibilities, and governance structure. I've read it a couple of times and fallen asleep a couple of times while reading it, because there is a bit of technical jargon at the start, in the middle, and at the end. But that's why we're having this constitution workshop, so we can really talk about them, break them down, get everyone a solid understanding of what's in that document, how that will affect you as an ADA holder, and even just as a general crypto holder. You might be sitting there thinking, this guy's nuts, who cares about Charles Hoskinson and Cardano and any of that sort of Team Blue stuff over there. I'm all about ETH, but ultimately this is going to have an effect on you moving forward, because if we get these governance systems integrated into the wider society, it's going to be massive for blockchain adoption. The Constitution will guide how decentralization, security, and scalability of the chain continues, and there's an evolving framework for adapting the community values and needs over time. So our workshop, very kindly thanks to Dirk, who's sitting at the back, he's hosting our workshop at the UWA Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Research Centre. So anyone that would like to come along, it's on Saturday the 12th of October, approximately 9 till 3, but similar to tonight, there'll be food and drink to entice you to stay longer and to chat and to really just get a broader understanding of what your views are for how the Constitution can go forward. The day will consist of, we've got about 5 topics to go through, and anyone can participate in the conversation. Anyone can push any sort of agenda that you have around blockchain, or even just come to learn. I'm trying to get my mum to come along so she understands what all this magical internet money is that I'm talking about, and why I'm sitting in Twitter Spaces talking to magical internet people all times of night. So yeah, I'd love to see you all there. There's also some really cool opportunities. So as a part of this, this workshop, we get to select 2 delegates that are going to get an all expenses paid trip to Argentina to participate in the International Constitution Workshop. So we'll do a vote. We need to have at least 10 people there to form a quorum, and then there'll be 1 delegate selected and 1 alternate, both of whom get flown over to Argentina to become a part of the Constitution experience, to represent our Perth workshop in front of the broader Cardano ecosystem. And if food and drink after, as well as lunch and snacks throughout the day wasn't enough, thanks to Ronald sitting at the front here on his phone ignoring me.
No, I'm just joking what you're saying.
You also will get one of these awesome travel cups. So thank you to, I forget what your business name is.
RK Lifestyle.
RK Lifestyles. So this is great for keeping your coffee warm, your wine cold, and everything in between. It's got your Constitution workshop on the front. And on the back, Intersect, which is part of the governing bodies, Olympus Insights, obviously my company, and DGov Education, who is helping to coordinate all of these workshops. On the same day, there's a workshop going on in Sydney, and we'll be linking up with them, having a Perth versus Sydney quiz to see who is the smartest blockchain community. We're creating the quiz, so we'll have the answers. They will not be. So yeah, that should be a bit of fun. I think I was meant to keep this to 5 minutes. If anyone wants to, I can send this to you later if you missed it. And I'm not going to talk about Ollie, but yeah, I'll go back. I was only meant to speak for 5 minutes, so thank you.
I think that was a pretty compelling case to come along, right? Yeah? Did anyone take that down? I'm going to see you there. Right, excellent. Okay, well, look, let's move right along for the pièce de résistance. This is bamboo.io. Is it Get Bamboo? Get Bamboo. My apologies, getbamboo.io. So I'd like to welcome to the front Blake. I think you will introduce the piece.
Thank you. I don't know if can you guys hear me? Do you need this? Yeah. All good. Yeah, so those of you who don't know me, my name's Blake. I run a company called Bamboo, and Bamboo is a local Perth startup, and we help people invest and save into digital currencies. And yeah, Bamboo is about 6 years old. The first office for Bamboo was actually upstairs here, and then a group of us got involved about 4 years ago, and we've been helping grow the platform since then. But what's really exciting is over the past 2 years, we've been developing Bamboo 2.0, completely rebuilding the app. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what that journey's looked like in order to, take our product into the next market cycle. Cool. So over the past 4 years since we've been involved with Bamboo, we've collected really a lot of data around how people are using our app, how people are investing into cryptocurrencies, and what feedback, they've given us a bunch of feedback of things that they've wanted integrated into the product. So they've wanted charts, they've wanted more privacy preserving tools in the app, they've wanted to improve the rewards program and other assets like USDC and single asset sell. As well as that, there's been a bunch of stuff that we've wanted to build out, like improving the onboarding process to increase conversions, improve our referral system, improve our infrastructure to make it modern, and provide them with educational material in-app so we can help people along their journey into crypto. As well as that, we wanted to review the user experience of all our features and functionality, which was a massive task, and that's why it's really taken us a couple of years to build this. So what did the process look like in order to do it? We first engaged a designer that specialised in fintech, Jar Jar Studios. They've worked with Zip, the buy now pay later firm, and many other large fintechs, and had really a lot of subject matter expertise in the space. We took us 3 months to design it, and we really wanted to look at points of difference where we could differentiate ourselves from those that build trading platforms in the market. We really want to focus on helping people to save digital currencies as opposed to trade them, which many of the platforms in market facilitate or encourage people to do. After that, we designed this. It took 3 months. It took about 8 weeks to break down these designs into tasks for the developers and project plan it. There are about 500 tickets for us to develop, and then we had to start the recruitment process, so we had the team available to us to deliver on the time frame that we're after. So we had to hire product managers, project managers, developers and QA engineers in order to achieve our goal. So yeah, just getting into design. On the left you'll see the original Bamboo app, and it was a very minimalist design, and it was designed so that anyone could really use it. And we wanted to really embody that in the new designs on the right, but really bring it to life. However, still embody the original DNA of the way that Bamboo was envisioned, thought about functioning. On the left here, you'll see the old home screen, which is really quite minimal, which a lot of people loved, and I think we've annoyed a few people now that we've updated it, but that's okay. I think they'll get used to it. Now, you'll see the home screen here. We have bigger call to actions to allow people to invest easier. We have our rewards program and our referral system front and center so people can be rewarded for their in-app behavior and also refer their friends. And then education top of mind here so people can continue to learn about what's going on in the crypto market. As well as that, on the right-hand side, there was a lot of requests for charts and additional data around how people, about the way that they've invested or about when they've invested. So now we provide additional analytics for people's portfolios. So that's been well received. And then finally, we just wanted to change our referral system. So it's really important, instead of just sharing a code for your product, providing people with like a picture and saying people can interact with more. So now we provide people's performance that they can send their friends and family and say, hey, after using the product for this period of time, this is the performance that I've received, and that's hopefully going to increase the virality of the product over time. So we designed 120 new screens, which is really a lot, probably too much to do in one product release, and I would definitely not recommend doing this, and I'll get into a little bit more of why. But finally, just the illustrations I thought were really important. With our initial designers, we had these top line illustrations, and it was really hard to find someone that could embody our brand. They could be spread across not just the product, but also our website and marketing material and everywhere else. And each of these illustrations depicts one of our features in our product, and I think that really helped us tie the whole product and brand together. So why did we do such a big project? When we took over Bamboo 4 years ago, we inherited it without a design system. So the original founder, who was one of the designers, he did the illustrations, he did it all himself, but it didn't allow us to then hire designers to come along and then continue to further to build the app in that style. So we were having trouble, so we had to build a design system from the ground up. So we could hire designers from anywhere in the world. They could come in and they could design new features and functionality without having that subject matter expertise or that history. They could just come in and we could hire them for their skill sets. And as a result of that, we couldn't release one feature at a time. We had to release dozens of features at a time because we couldn't have two brands in-app at the same time. We had to build all the new features and then release them simultaneously to make sure that our existing customers would have a good user experience throughout that process. Timing was also a big challenge. We wanted to make sure that we got it done before the bull run, and I'll get into the little bit of a scare that we had earlier this year with respect to that. And of course, resourcing was very hard. When you're project planning an 18-month or a 2-year project, it's really hard to know what dependencies you can't see, what's out of scope, and how are you going to deliver this on time. But I think we did okay, but definitely some room for improvement. So we were really scared we were going to miss the boat. Earlier this year, we reached all-time high before the Bitcoin halving, which was the first time that's ever happened. And we thought we were going to have a less translated cycle or an early cycle, and that we would miss the boat. The whole purpose for doing this was to get the product into market before the bull run, so we could take advantage of the market momentum. But it turns out that the last 6 months has cooled off, so I'm very thankful for that. So we took an extra 10 weeks to develop the app over probably the 18-month time span, and testing the product was far more involved when we thought. We're trying to run this live production environment while releasing a completely new product on top of a legacy backend, which is incredibly challenging. As well as that, the App Store, the Apple App Store, is doing a regulatory review of all crypto products in the apps that are trying to release new products because of scams. So that was incredibly frustrating, trying to get our app listed on the App Store after being listed for over 5 years. They would say things like, hey, could you provide us with your licensing to be a crypto exchange in Australia? And we would go on to explain that there is no licensing in Australia for crypto exchange. And then they would come back and someone else would pick up the ticket 2 weeks later and say, ask the same question. So it's incredibly frustrating to go through that process, but we were fortunate to get there in the end after bugging them for over 9 weeks. Of course, when you're developing a project of this size, there's a lot of unseen dependencies and scoping items. When you're designing a product like this, you don't really notice improvements that can be made until you have it in hand. And you realize, hey, this doesn't work how it was intended, or this could be improved upon, or we think we should add, another component in order to make this feature as user-friendly as possible. Finally, we released the app a few weeks ago. There were some minor issues which we're expecting upon launch. About 20% of our users had some validation issues on signing in, but we were fortunate to resolve them in the first 24 to 48 hours. But otherwise, everything ran incredibly smoothly. Is there a slide missing? No?
It may have been moved around.
Oh. Okay, well that's all. Sorry, I was thinking I went through that quick. Yeah, cool. Any questions though on that whole process? Yeah?
In terms of your problems with the Apple Store,
Yeah.
actually got a few of them. So are you Apple only or you
Both
also
Android and
Okay.
Apple. Yeah.
So I was also going to ask you like what framework you use. Like is it a cross-platform app or you just use
React Native, yes.
React Native? Okay. Have you considered or did you consider like either having a PWA or a mobile website, which is almost the same thing, as like a backup strategy or anything like that?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But it sounds like we should have. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this in Australia only or international?
Yeah, it's in Australia only. We spent a lot of time and resources setting up the product to release also in the US.
There is a slide missing because it talks about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
I
slide.
remember it because you did this. So. Did we? I put it in there, but maybe.
I think there's a couple slides missing, maybe.
Well, there was definitely one about where we're going next. So
Yeah.
maybe-
Yeah.
What's happening next, Blake?
Yeah, maybe I'll check if it's in here.
Maybe different version.
Is that it? There?
Can't really recall what's on them, but yeah, we'll talk about what's next. Yeah, I think there was a slide on lessons learned. So yeah, we learnt a lot of lessons in this process. The first lesson was that you always need to hire probably 30% more staff than you originally anticipated. But sometimes you have budgetary constraints, so that can't always happen. Secondly, don't tell anyone about your release date until after the release date, because it felt like it was going on forever and ever, and I'll definitely never be doing that again. And as well as that, we identified systems and processes internally that could be improved throughout the process, particularly over the past 6 months, to improve your developer conditions and your project management. And we held off on implementing those systems and processes and new tools that the developers could use until the end of the project. But I think that was a little bit of a mistake. As soon as you identify those improvements, I think they should be implemented, because the project did keep going on for many more weeks or months. And I think it would have improved and helped the delivery of the project if we did that. Finally, what are we doing next? I think that we really want to lean into the gamified savings space. Everyone in the crypto industry is focused on trading and trading volumes. That's how exchanges make money. But we want to help people save and not trade their crypto and build their positions over time, because most of these assets are mostly deflationary. And if we can help people achieve their financial goals through savings and gamified savings, I think that really sets us apart in the market. So we'll be definitely leaning into that. So yeah, thank you.
How would you, if we're going,
No, go for
how
it.
would you typify your app? Like, if you had to give a couple of words, would you say crypto savings?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said roundup, but it feels like there's more to it than that.
Yeah. Well, we're a savings app. We help people dollar cost average into the market. So automated investing strategies for crypto. Most people invest too much. They invest at the wrong times. So we're kind of training wheels for crypto, helping people achieve their goals. Most people use the Bamboo app for kind of medium-term savings goals, like going on a holiday, paying off the credit card, or buying a gift for somebody. So yeah, I think we're going to definitely lean in and build more tools to help people do those things.
Do you have like a profile of people using the app that you could?
It is very mixed. We get the traders who use us because we're easy. We get the newbies that are wanting to buy crypto for the first time. and everyone in between, really. Yeah.
I have a question, but maybe not popular. Do you have something like tax help after the 1 year, for example, like Conj are doing?
Sorry?
Tax.
Yeah, sorry I have accent, but I will leave it. Do you help him with tax?
Yeah, you can print
So,
off
so
tax
that your
in-
app can just
Yeah, so
Add something.
we don't have APIs into Coinly, but we allow people to download the CSV or
Yeah,
their trade
yeah.
history to
Yeah.
upload
Through like
into.
all taxation is there.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how many users do you have in Oz at the moment? Do you have a target to reach?
Yeah, so we have about 80,000 downloads of the app, and yeah, you know, in the market cycle, I'm not really sure. It depends how much capital we'll have to buy customers. So yeah, hopefully the cycle goes on for longer rather than shorter. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't used the app for probably 2 or 3
Well, no
years.
one's allowed to leave here unless they download.
I used it at the wrong time. I used
Right.
it at the last one.
Okay.
I haven't used it when I should have been saving in the
We
bear
shouldn't
market.
stop, that's the whole point, just keep it going.
No, but my question is, you had Bitcoin and Ethereum and gold and silver, I think.
Yeah.
You mentioned USDC. Are there any other assets other than that?
No, we haven't gone down up the risk curve, but you know, definitely open to it. But yeah,
So you've
you
got
know,
a digital gold and silver on your app you can chunks trade into.
we have digital
Very
gold and
interesting.
silver. Yeah,
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 that's right. The wading into the shallow waters of kind of crypto for kind of most of the newbies out there.
Yeah.
Because they understand gold and silver, they just don't understand anything else.
Yeah, so
They're
we've-
not yeah, the younger generation is probably a lot better equipped than kind of say the 50 my generation.
yeah,
The
yeah.
mid Gen X's.
Yeah, definitely. The older generation definitely weights more towards gold and silver. They might have 10% of their portfolio, 20% in Bitcoin, and the younger people probably maybe vice versa. Yeah. So.
It's certainly good.
I think you should finish Nathan's question before about the US, because it's an interesting.
Oh yeah, the US. Yeah, so we've built all the infrastructure there, but unfortunately because of Operation Chokehold 2.0, there was a lot of banks that went down. It's very hard to get banking there at the moment. We were debanked a couple times, and we have a new banking partner that we're working with at the moment to get our payment rails. So that's available to us. All the infrastructure's built, but you know, it just has to be at the right time and potentially with the right partner to help us expand there. Yeah.
So mainly focusing on like developed nations. Will you push broader?
Yeah. So some of the integration partners that we have are present in Europe and the US and other developed regions. That makes it the barrier to entry a lot lower for us to expand into other regions. But there are other use cases of like similar companies, but in traditional markets going into Southeast Asia. And so yeah, we can look at that and figure out if the unit economics make sense to go there, because it's quite different to how the banking system works here with payments and people using cards and stuff. So, but yeah, we're open to exploring that. We've had some interest from UAE as well, so that could be an option. But really, I think it's about finding the right partner. Yeah.
What are the options for onboarding into the app? Like, if you wanted to put your crypto in there, what are the methods that people do?
We only do direct debit. It's dollar cost averaging. We're not about so much about investing large sums of money. It's just like payday stuff, like every week $50
You can
or
do
something.
manual top-ups.
Yeah, you can do manual top ups up
Is there a
to
limit on that? Or?
I think up to $10,000 a day, something like that. I'm not
2,000
sure.
and you can up it.
Okay.
Is the markup function still there as well?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
still
yeah,
there.
so those.
Yeah.
What are you doing for custody?
Custody, we self-custody and we leverage the exchanges that we use. We're not an exchange ourselves. We don't have a trading engine. We outsource that to groups like Kraken and Independent Reserve, so we utilize them for custody as well. And that kind of works for us.
I guess on the back of that, what would happen if one of those exchanges was to do an FTX to your clients?
Yeah, that would definitely hurt us. Not all of our assets are there, only a portion of them for liquidity, but that's one of the risks that we take in our industry. I think if these big exchanges like Binance or Coinbase or Kraken go down, it is going to send shock waves, and I think everyone will be affected.
Did you look at something like Fireblocks, which has like
Yeah.
sort of non-custodial and trading available within it?
Yeah, definitely. I think Fireblocks is a good option. Ledger has a really good option as well. I think when the time's right, yeah, we'd be happy to use a platform like that or a solution. But for now, you know, I think the setup that we have works well. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, guys?
Just asking for money, but KYC?
KYC, yeah, we don't have formal KYC. Bamboo is not an exchange, and we have a closed loop ecosystem. And what that means is any money is invested into the Bamboo app. Once you sell your assets, the money's returned to the same point of origin, to the same bank account, and that removes any risk of money laundering. So we have like a KYC Lite where we collect some basic information, like your phone number, email, date of birth, and name. And as long as that matches your bank account that the money's coming to and from, that's the level of KYC that we do. Yeah.
Do you have VCs or investors of the company?
Yeah, we've done multiple rounds of capital raising, seed and a Series A in 2021. We hit profitability, I think, in November last year. So yeah, now we're just growing organically. But I think raising capital is all about timing. So when the market conditions are as good as they can be, hopefully next year, then we'll do hopefully more of a growth style raise. Yeah. Cool. All right.
To get on with our next one, and then maybe get some more questions later.
Thank you
Cool.
very
Thanks,
much.
guys.
So I hope you've all downloaded. Is this on? Maybe not. No? Okay.
Is it on? I think it's not.
I tried to. Okay, it's called Push the Buzzer. Does that work? No. Maybe the Bluetooth. Anyway, I'll project my voice, no problem. So yes, download the app. I've just done that. So I'll set up my investment. I think I'd like to try it out. Why not? Everything's worth using to become familiar with. Very good. Okay, our night is continuing. It's great to see Leo at the back of the room there. So Leo, I can just give you a very brief introduction because that's pretty much all I know about you. You're a film producer, and I think in New Zealand you produced a doco about an NFT creator, and that really blew up. Somebody from Nelson, is that correct? Anyway, we can talk about that another time because that's not why you're here tonight. It's to talk about the movie or the film, the documentary. I'm not quite sure how we preface that. Vitalik and Ethereum Story. So I think we might have some information from the producers over in California. So do you want to come up to the front? Warm welcome for Leo.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Sophie, and thanks everyone. I'm originally from Brazil. I've been here for 2 months only. I came with a family, wife and kid, and we were living in New Zealand for 7 years, and we just arrived here. I was planning to attend the meeting to meet most of you, but thanks to Sophie, I'm here. And the reason I'm here, in 2 weeks' time, we have the opportunity to watch the world premiere of this documentary. I don't know if many of you are familiar with it, but I witnessed their fundraising. Was a crowdfunding effort that they were expecting to get like 750,000, which is a decent amount for a full-length documentary. And because of the Ethereum community, they got like 2.5 million, and they've been working on this film for 3 years now. So I'm here to see if we can make it to 42 total tickets that we need to watch the film in the theater instead of online a few days later. So I might just play the trailer.
I might put it full screen.
Thank you.
Our lives are increasingly on the internet. And the way that these companies are abusing us is messed up. We have to change the trajectory.
Okay, that's probably the bravest I've been around bugs in years.
Vitalik is the engineer recognized as the inventor of Ethereum.
Blockchain movement's biggest celebrity becomes something like the philosopher king.
Oh God, why are people listening to me? I'm just a guy.
Vitalik has been on a global campaign.
Ethereum has the potential to disrupt the giants of the tech world.
It could be used to build this new internet.
They're saying this is the way the internet was meant to be, but no one person can control it.
We're building infrastructure that the whole world can enjoy. This infinite dominance.
Technologies very rarely stay the same as they are envisioned by their creators.
It's just batshit crazy out here. They want the fucking janitor to be at the same level as the person at the top.
Not everyone in the crypto space is in it for the ideals. A lot of people really do just want to make lots of money.
Currently, Ethereum uses something like the energy consumption of Argentina.
You know, financial incentive is like a fire. You can use it to keep yourself warm, or you can use it to burn your house down.
I think anyone who thinks they understand exactly where it's all going, they're lying to you or lying to themselves.
This is an important set of upgrades that fundamentally improves what Ethereum can do.
People seeking a deeper kind of democracy in this digital space. We need to be involved.
There are some things that are worth making a stance over.
Food, medicine, just this next evolution of coordination for humanity.
There are hundreds of thousands of people across the world that are building things.
We're seeing the resurgence of idealist dreams of the cyberpunk world from the 1990s. There is no off switch. You've created life.
Yeah, and that's a message from the director. He wanted to be live with us, but it's like 3 a.m. in California, so he...
Hi everyone, my name is Akin Grassi, and I'm one of the co-directors of the new documentary series called Ethereum Stories. Some of you may remember us from our NFT People Pleaser crowdfund that we did back in 2021 to raise funds. And because of the support of the community, we've been able to create completely independent work without the pressure of a major media company trying to sensationalize these stories. Over the last 3 years, we've been able to film the growth of the space, the ups and the downs, and of course, the most impressive software upgrade of our time, the merge. Over the last 2 years, we've been able to edit this footage into films that we believe are for the crypto community, for the crypto curious, and even the crypto skeptic. Something that is accessible and human. On September 18th, we're so excited to be able to share the centerpiece to our series, the feature documentary Vitalik, an Ethereum Story. We partnered with the platform Gather to be able to show the film in theaters all around the world in what we're calling a decentralized world premiere, including in Perth if we can sell enough tickets. So thank you, Leo, for helping get the word out, and we really hope we can pull this off.
Woohoo! That's it. So yeah, all of you plus one.
My name is Akin Grassi.
Join the premiere. We might be able to pull this off. And that was it. Thank you. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you very much, Leo. Seriously, I wouldn't have known about it until I met you for a coffee, and then we confirmed, oh my gosh, it's part of the premiere of the movie here in Perth.
That's
So I feel we're down to, is it 29 tickets? So I don't think it's going to be that much. I think we're 28, 30 people here, so if everyone bought a ticket, we would be able to have it diffused in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so that's on the 18th.
Oh yeah, deadline is tomorrow. So
Where is it?
where is it?
Raine Square.
There you go.
Can they extend the deadline?
But they need a deadline to decide if they're going to screen the movie or not, and the deadline is tomorrow. Kind of 2 weeks ahead of the date, you know.
Hence inviting them here tonight to kind of like activate.
Yeah, we gotta make it happen today.
And if we don't meet the deadline, can we host it in, say, November or something?
We
or
could-
is it only available at
We could try to host an event, like a screening, that is not the actual premiere, but a separate screening. We could try that.
The
But-
tickets, NFTs, so we can resell them if we can.
It's only reserved, so if oh, hang on.
It charges a credit card if the threshold is met.
Exactly.
You might have to give it to someone else, but if we don't have the movie showing, then we won't be charged.
No, that's right.
Donate $20.
How much
Yeah.
are the tickets?
Sorry?
What's the cost?
$22. Yeah.
Plus a booking fee.
Yeah, it's if it doesn't happen 2 days later, we can like buy an NFT and stream it at home, but it won't be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go and have a premiere here in Perth. That's my thesis. I think Perth deserves to be the first place in the world that is showing the film. So I've got a couple of tickets. We can go for Guinness and snacks after and debrief. So how does that sound? Who wants to come? Fantastic. Okay, great. Well then I suggest you head along there. Do you like my little QR code? Fantastic. Yeah, please come. It would be wonderful. And if you can buy two and invite a friend, that would be just great. I think it'd be awesome to have it here. And I think we might be doing a little bit of Q&A, is that right? Will we have an opportunity to Q&A? We might.
I think we might have the same problem that the directors will be at 3 a.m. at home. So.
But for a premiere, they might be willing to have a little bit of sleep discomfort and answer one or two questions live.
And it's possible they can be away for premieres all over the world at the same time. So.
That could be leveraging your friendship a little too much, maybe. Anyway, look, I think, guys, and women, it'll be a fantastic opportunity to come and support and blockchain, which has really helped to build out, a vast part of the crypto ecosystem. So we've come to the end of formal presentations now. I think we've got Tracy. Or did we say that we're going to have a little whip round? What was the idea now?
Just if anyone wants to do, we kind of did a bit of Q&A with Blake's there, but I think if anyone wants to, there's loads of pizza and drinks left and we can do some networking, but before we stand up and eat and drink whatever's left, if anyone wants to grab the mic and have a discussion with any of our three panellists this evening, pop your hands up, or if anyone's got any thoughts about the market or crypto in general. We always seem